how's it going? It's been a little while since I did a video out here actually talking to the camera, but I thought I'd bring it back for a change, mainly because I expect this to be quite a short walk, so I need to record a bit more behind the scenes than usual to actually make this worthy of a video. It's currently very early in the morning and it's about -3 degrees Celsius, so it's a very cold morning. We've got a nice layer of frost for one of the first times this year, as winter's taken a while to start to show itself. So I thought I'd come out here for a bit and try and find a few frozen mushrooms, maybe photograph a few leaves with frost along the edges as well, and just see what I can get. There's usually quite a few interesting things to photograph in these conditions, but I'll have to get straight to it because I expect as soon as the sun rises high enough to hit this area, a lot of this ice is going to start melting. So I'm really on a time limit with this one. Just spent a couple of minutes searching around the ground here. It's not taking me that long at all. Got a first find there, these two little mushrooms growing together there. I'm not sure if there's that much frost on them. I'll wait until I can see it through the camera to know for sure. Let's get the camera set up. Just going to remove this one piece of moss here. That actually looks really nice. There is just a thin layer of ice all over the caps. I think that should turn out quite nice. And I've spotted a few more just over there. A couple more, probably the same species, so I'll move the camera and see what I can do with those as well. I'll try and get an angle looking straight at these two. There's a small one just underneath one of them. It looks like it'd make for a really nice scene, but I don't know if I'll be able to get the angle. I've got the angle I want, but there are a few blades of grass in the way. I'm going to gently remove them. And I think that should do it. Looks quite nice. Just taking a quick photo of this one as well. Just thought it has a really nice layer of ice, a few sort of ice crystals balancing on the top, a little bit better than those first ones. Now there are mushrooms just absolutely everywhere here, and of course I'm not going to photograph that many of them because they're all going to look the same, but I did notice in here there's a really ice crystal covered one just in there, so I might see if I can get a photo of that one. It is quite a bit smaller, which is going to make it a bit more difficult to photograph, especially being where it is. There's not much room to put the camera, but I'll try and make something work because it looks like it'll make a really nice photo if I can get it. I'm just going to move a few of these loose sticks out of the way. I've got a frame of it here, but I'm not too pleased with it. The camera's just too high up, but it's almost more of a top-down view, which isn't what I wanted, but it'll do as a first shot in case I can't find anything else. I might try and go around the other side and see if I can get the camera lower. It's a little bit closer to what I wanted from this side. Still not perfect, but it's the best I'm going to get, I think. Oh, I have noticed just down here, if you can see that, an even smaller one with a few ice crystals on it. And there's also another one of these orange Gallerina mushrooms there as well. I'll attempt to photograph both of them while I'm here, see what works. I'd really like a photo of this tiny one, but just like that first one, I don't know if I can get in there with all these sticks, moss and everything in the way. Just trying to figure out which pieces of wood I can easily move without damaging or disturbing anything else. I can get this one out of the way, it should help a lot. And there's just a few small pieces of grass that are in the way down there. Okay, I've managed to make something work of this tiny one. It's a bit of a strange angle, but you can see the ice crystals that are formed around the cap that look really nice. That's all I really wanted to capture anyway. And we'll have a quick go at the orange ballerina that I noticed as well. So again, gently remove these couple of blades of grass, get the framing correct, and see how that turns out. There's a slight backlit effect as the sun's starting to rise high enough in the background now. I'm trying not to photograph too many of the same, but I just keep finding more that look interesting. So I found these here. That one on its own is not really worth photographing, as it is very much the same as some of the others, but I felt these two sort of leaning together like that make for a nice photo, especially if I clean up the background a little bit, remove a couple blades of grass. So I'll get a photo of that, and then I might start to move on, because it's getting towards the point where some of this ice might start melting as the sun hits it, and I don't want to keep photographing the same thing, and I seem to only be finding this species here anyway. I've just got to my second and probably final location of the day, as this is only a short walk for a change. In this small area of trees here where I quite often find a lot of really tiny mushrooms, and I see what I can find. Unfortunately, the frost hasn't quite been strong enough to penetrate into the wooded areas here, so I don't think I'll be finding anything else with ice on it, but I should still hopefully at least find a couple of interesting subjects. And just like that, first little piece of wood that I've turned over, there's a tiny white mushroom on it there. It looks to be a dewdrop bonnet, so there should be some droplets of water on it as well. So I'll just have to put the teleconverter on my camera quickly, because this is really small and I'm going to need to get as much magnification as I can on this. I think I'll balance this somewhere around here, just so it's nice and stable, and set up my camera. And I'm going to have to stay facing this way, because the sun is coming directly behind where the camera is that's filming this. And I want to block any sunlight from hitting it, just to avoid the water droplets evaporating before I can photograph them. So we're just going to put the teleconverter on quickly. And see what I can get, and hope that there's still some droplets on there. That's the first photo of that. I'm going to very slightly rotate it, and at the same time I'm going to lower the camera, just try and get a slightly different angle. I wasn't entirely happy with that first one. Yeah, that second angle is looking a lot nicer. Just slightly lower, the mushroom a bit more straighter to the lens. Now, still looking at that same little piece of wood. I just wanted to see if there was anything else that would make for a nice photo before putting it back. And I've came across possibly the smallest mushroom that I've ever photographed. You can see I've found it in frame there with these perfect little droplets of water on it as well. And I've taken a focus stack of it, and I've also attempted a high-res shot, bumping it up to f/18. Just to see how much of it I can capture in focus in one shot because of it being so small. And I will try to show my finger next to it as well for scale, but I'm not sure if I'll even be able to find it. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but it's that tiny white dot next to my fingertip there. Not the larger one, that's a much larger mushroom that I've not photographed. The tiny white speck to the left of it. It definitely is one of the smallest that I've ever photographed, there's no doubt about that. I was just walking around seeing what else I could find in this area. I came across this tiny white Mycena mushroom growing out of the leaf litter there, which just has some perfect ice crystals growing all the way up the stem and on the cap as well. It's growing very sideways, looks a bit odd, but from the right angle it'll make for a really nice photo, which I believe I've found that right angle here. And that composition there that is just stunning with the ice. I'm having to take it in a bit of a tricky way. I'm having to stand here to block the sun, just because the glare of the sun on those ice crystals will probably not work. But I'll get that photo taken quickly, and then I might try stepping out of the way and seeing if I can get a photo with the sun glare, just to see if it does work, but I don't expect it to. I've also decided, as I've still got the teleconverter on and this is a slightly larger subject, to move really close and just fill the entire frame with just the cap of the mushroom and try and pick out every bit of detail of those ice crystals. I think it should turn out pretty well. This is something I've been doing a little bit more of lately, especially when using the teleconverter. It just picks up more detail than you'd ever get taking a full photo of the whole subject. As I'm about to finish this walk up now, I thought, because I've not done it yet, I had to find a nice patch of frozen leaves and plants and other things and try and photograph a few ice crystals before it all melts. So, first one I found, just on the tip of that leaf there, I've decided to zoom in on a few crystals. Turn the camera back on here. You can see there the frame that I found. It looks really nice. It's a really abstract shape. And I've just aimed the lens at this tiny piece of bracken there that's got a good layer of frost on top. Had a little look around to see what I could find, and there's a really nice ice formation there that I've been able to isolate from the rest and photograph. I think that one should turn out pretty nice as well. I'll have a little look for some more, but I'm pretty happy with those two, so if I get any more I'll stick them in after this photo, and if not, it's probably time to move on and head home. I think it's time for me to call it a day here. It's been a bit of a shorter walk, so I'm not too sure how long this video will have turned out to be, but it's been a few really nice photos. It's been nice to get out in the frost for the first time of the year, as much as it is sad to know the mushroom season is pretty much ended now because of that, but I'm sure I'll still find plenty on future walks during the winter, and then of course spring is just around the corner then. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and stick around for the next one.